A very warm welcome to BookFlix Live, episode number 6. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really inspired by the way I'm getting love and support from all of you, from all the people around who are watching live, who are watching later. It is because of your love and support that I'm able to broadcast today's episode number 6 of BookFlix Live. It is because of your love and support that I am able to take it forward from the first episode till today. And I'm sure with your love and support, we will take this platform of BookFlix Live to the next level. Ladies and gentlemen, today's episode would be really unique. Yes, I promise you that today's episode is going to be very unique and they will be full of learning today. Let me take your permission to park for a moment here and share a story from my life, a real life story, a real life experience, which has really made a remarkable turning point in my life, which has actually impacted my journey throughout my career, which has actually helped me to transform the way I act, and I became really a smart action taker. Yes, I started becoming a smart action taker ever since I had experienced this particular moment. So let me start by saying that it was a profound experience in my beginning part of my, I would say, college life. When I was at 11th standard, one day in my class, I was just, solving a problem of my mathematics subject. Right? So I was just working on that particular problem and I was enjoying the particular work. I was actually in the flow. So naturally, what happens when you are on a flow, when you are enjoying the work, you forget the world, you forget what is happening around. I just, keep on focusing on solving the mathematics problem. So I was just working on and on and on. I was just writing and solving and I was just continuing my work. Suddenly from behind, the professor, just he put his hand on my shoulder and he said, "Hey, Mr. Bro, you're enjoying to eat your lunch, I know, but you forgot that your stomach is full. You forgot to stop eating even if your stomach is full." Did you notice what I shared? What he was trying to mean actually was, ladies and gentlemen, he was trying to mean that the question that has been asked for that particular problem that I was working on, I was supposed to stop that particular, work at that stage, and I was not stopping it. In mathematics, if you have learned mathematics, all of us, we go through mathematics, but in the 11th standard, 12th standard, what happens is that, sometimes the question is asked halfway. You are supposed to stop your work halfway, and your work is done and you get a full mark. There is another way of asking the question that, you are supposed to solve the full problem, wherein from end to end, maybe, you need to solve the problem, which will take maybe 1 page or 2 pages. But sometimes you are supposed to stop at half the page because the question is half question. Your question is not a full, to solve the full problem. Maybe the question is to solve some part of the problem. And as per the question on which I was addressing to, when I was answering to that particular problem, my work is done, but I was not stopping there. I was just continuing and continuing. I was going on and on and on because I was enjoying and I was on the flow. So, that was such an important experience for me. That actually became a turning point in the way I look at my actions ever since. Sometimes at life, what happens, friends, is that you are enjoying what you are doing. Probably you are getting good results from what you are doing, and you are really motivated. You are positive and you are inspired, and you keep on doing what you are doing, isn't it? I'm sure you are able to relate to what I am saying. If you look back to your own life, your day-to-day life, there may be many experiences wherein you are on a flow. You just forget what is happening outside the world, what is happening around you. So that was the experience for me. And what I actually understood from that moment is that sometimes it is really important for you to park, to take a break, and reflect your learnings, what you are going through, what you have learned, or what you have achieved for that matter. Even if you are achieving and you are doing really well on your work or on your profession, it is important to take a pause and reflect. And that actually changes the game. What happens is that many great experts say that, what took you here won't take you there. Probably whatever you have come so far is because of what you had been doing, and more importantly, how you have been doing, on what you had been doing. But in order to go to the level where you want to go, probably how you had been doing so far will not be good enough. You need to do something more or something smarter. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the very moment when you need to take a pause and reflect. Reflect on how you had been doing, and reflect on what is the learning, and reflect on, is there any way to do things better? And you will find a lot of answers, a lot of practical answers when you start doing this. When you take a pause, when you reflect, and when you ask these questions, you will get a lot of life-changing answers. Ladies and gentlemen, what I have learned from my mentors is that life is all about asking the right questions to yourself or to others. If you ask the right questions, you will get the best answers. If you do not ask the questions, you don't get the answers. And if you don't get the answers, probably you will be stuck. It made a big learning to me. It made me think that probably when we are on a flow state, when we are enjoying what we are doing and what we are forgetting the world, and at that moment it is important to take a pause and reflect upon and take the learnings and make our actions much better and smarter, use better plans, use better strategies, and accelerate in life. Ladies and gentlemen, believe you me, this is what exactly I had applied time and again on a continuous basis, on a consistent basis throughout my career. And that has given me amazing results. And that has actually helped me to do much better things in other fields of my life, on other areas of my life. Why I am sharing this particular experience of mine? There are two reasons for this. The first reason is, ladies and gentlemen, it is a powerful learning, and this is the platform where I share the practical proven formulas, and that is specifically the reason why I am sharing this particular learning. My important experience of my life's journey. The second reason why I am sharing this particular experience of mine is, ladies and gentlemen, on BookFlix Live, we have come some way, some distance. We have covered some distance, and we have completed 5 episodes, and today is the 6th episode. Ladies and gentlemen, if you actually look at in the last 5 episodes, we have gone through a lot of powerful strategies, powerful stories, powerful learnings, powerful takeaways from the very inspiring and very amazing successful people like Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary and Mr. Joaquin Birze. And there has been a lot of ideas, a lot of powerful, strategies, tricks, human behaviors, IPS, positive IPS, negative IPS, behavioral continuum. We have heard many new terms. We have heard many powerful real life stories, transformational stories, stories of celebrities, tennis players, stories of Wright brothers, stories of Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary, his own life, isn't it? So, if you actually look at, you are just putting in all those ideas and transformational stories into your brain. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to take a pause and reflect on those learnings, on those powerful ideas and powerful proven formulas, and actually look at what are the few things that in actual practical way we can apply in our life so that we take real benefit of it. Ladies and gentlemen, the whole and soul objective of this particular platform called BookFlix Live is to impact or to give you or to develop a platform wherein the aspiring youths, the aspiring mid-career professionals, the aspiring business persons to get some powerful practical idea so that they can move forward in their career, isn't it? So today I decided, ladies and gentlemen, that we take a pause here. We reflect upon those powerful ideas and powerful concepts and powerful stories that we had gone through in the past 5 episodes of BookFlix Live, and look at what are the 3-4 things or 5 things that we can actually apply to our daily life, our professional life, our personal life, so that we can actually get benefit of this particular platform. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why I had taken this decision. That is why I have called today's episode a very unique one. Yes, when you do the pause and reflection, the term pause and reflection itself tells that we need to go a little slow today. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it will not be a 100-meter race maybe today. We will go on a marathon way, but definitely we will touch upon some of the powerful life-changing strategies, tricks, and powerful ideas that we can apply in our lives in true sense, isn't it? There is one way. Why I'm saying is that there is one way of listening to all those ideas. There are some people who loves listening, who loves learning. They're learning. They're putting those ideas into their mind, into their head. They're just moving. Probably they are not reflecting upon, they are not looking at which is the best way to implement those best ideas into their lives so that they can move forward in their career, so that they can do better on whatever they had been doing, maybe on their personal lives, their relationships, or their career or business or job. And there is another set of people, maybe they learn little, but they apply better. Or for that matter, life is not about becoming the most intelligent person for that matter. Life is all about how do you execute those ideas in the best manner. So there are some set of people who executes better, right? So these are the people who excels in life. These are the people who make a lot of impact in this world. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I have seen in my own life. This is what I have seen in my research of past 15 years on the people who have achieved extraordinary success in their lives. So, my dear friends, let's park a moment today and let's reflect on some of the big learnings in the past 5 episodes. So, I have requested Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary and Mr. Joy King Birje to give us time for 2 episodes. Today, ladies and gentlemen, what we will do is we will pick up some powerful real stories that they have shared. This book called Life Without If, this book called Life Without If is very unique. It's unique because of the reason that apart from having a lot of big concepts, proven concepts, based on the researches of many people who have been able to make a lot of impact in this world. Apart from that, the beauty of this book called Life Without If, the book which has been the Amazon bestseller for some time. The beauty of this particular book is that it gives a lot of focus on how to implement those ideas. So from this book, we can see a lot of great stories in this book. Every single story carries some powerful life-changing ideas which actually we can apply in our words, in our lives. And once we apply those in our lives, our life can really change. We can really make a transformation in our lives. It can really create a turning point into your life. So today we will pick up some of the most powerful stories that we can see in this particular book. Right? So we can go through those. We will go through those powerful stories because I can promise you that every single story that I will be going through today, I will not be reading this book for that matter. I will be just speaking from my head, from my heart out. What I have captured from Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary, what I have captured from Joaquin Berger, I will be picking up some 4 or 5 powerful stories. I'll be talking in a very, very crisp and concise manner so that I don't spoil a lot of time. I'll just give a gist of the stories because our viewers also would have gone through those episodes. So you will have the top of mind awareness of those stories. So I'll not be talking about the story in detail from end to end, but I'll give the gist of those stories that they had shared by themselves or they had shared in this particular book. But more importantly, I'll spend time in terms of what is the big takeaway, what is the life-changing idea that that story is telling us, and how, in a smart way, in a more effective way, we can apply those ideas or those learnings into our life so that we can change our life, so that we can succeed our lives by design, not by default. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to park here for a moment and take your permission to share about a very, very important thing that I wanted to share. Ladies and gentlemen, I am truly inspired by the way I'm getting response to my videos, the live shows and the reels especially that I had been sharing on how to succeed in life. Recently, the kind of response I am getting in the last 1 or 2 months is amazing. I never even thought of. Let me be very honest, I never thought that this kind of response can come. And there has been lakhs of views. And ladies and gentlemen, why I'm even talking about views? Am I running this show to get views? No. The answer is big, big no. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to again spend one time why I am doing this, why I am doing what I am doing, why BookFlix Live. All of you know, I'll just take a few seconds to talk about it. All of you know my journey. It is all in the public domain. I started from a remote village, very beautiful, very nice, sweet, remote village, wherein the actual comfort and convenience of modern life was not available in our time. I had to walk for 8 kilometers every day to reach my school on muddy roads. After coming back, I used to take care of hundreds of cows of the village. I had financial problems. My parents didn't have any source of income. Because of not having any guide or any mentor throughout this journey, I did a lot of mistakes. I had lost a lot of time. I have lost a lot of energy. At times, I had lost confidence about myself. I have lost a lot of money. I have gone through many pain in a very, very severe condition. I had gone through depression. I could have almost ended my life. But thank God I could rescue myself from each of those moments and I could progress in life because of maybe my endless, seamless efforts to move forward in life, because of my dreams in life, maybe because of the love and support of the universe, my team and my people, my well-wishers. Somehow I was able to move forward in life and reach till this level. And by the grace of God, I believe that I'm just in the beginning of my journey and my journey continues. But the point I'm trying to make is that I could have failed. There has been many moments where I could have just failed. I could have said that, hey bro, the game is over, stop. I could have ended up becoming a failed person in my life. And when I look around today's youth, today's youngsters, today's people who are in the mid-career level, who are in the advanced career level, I can see that the same scenario is there in their lives. And the more painful reason is that many of them are failing in their careers or on any field, wherever they are, because they're not having the right guidance. They don't know that what they are doing is wrong. Or even if they are doing the right thing, they don't have the clarity, they don't have the assurance and confidence that what they are doing is right. Because of that, they don't have clarity, they don't have the confidence and the conviction. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do something without conviction and confidence, most likely you are going to derail. You are going to be derailed. You're going to fail in your career. I don't want those things to happen to today's generation and future generation. I don't want the people to go through the same kind of pain that I had gone through in my life. And I want them to have a platform wherein they get the guidance and the mentorship to tell them that what they are doing is right, or this is the best way, or this is the wrong way. And more importantly, I want to make sure that they are getting the guidance and mentorship from the best of the persons, those persons who have achieved success in their life, who have traveled the path that they want to start now. And ladies and gentlemen, they are the fittest mentors. Who can be a mentor? Who can be a guide? A mentor can be those people who have already traversed the path before you, who have reached there where I want to reach or you want to reach. They are the best people to tell you that this is the best way or this is the wrong way. This will help you to save your time, save your valuable energy, and also give you the conviction and the confidence saying that what you are doing is right. You are on right track or you are on wrong track. They can show you the right path. They can show you the best path. They can also warn you that you are not on the right track. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my purpose. And a person like me will not do this, let me tell you. But there will be a lot of people who have achieved much better than me, who have done a lot of better impact in their lives or around people around them. But the point is not that. The point is those people will not give these ideas or these platforms free of cost. I'm doing this free of cost for you for a reason. Those people, there are many people who are much better, much smarter, much more successful than me. But they will do for money. They will not do this for free. I'm not saying they are bad or I'm good. I'm saying that I have a purpose. There is something inside me, within me, which is wanting to help you. I want to do this going to any extent. Some people, maybe I'm already doing the coaching. I'm helping people to turn their passion into prosperity. I'm charging them. I'm charging a lot of money for them. But for my people, those people who would like to achieve somewhere, those aspiring people, even a lot of people, maybe they don't have that kind of money, but I want to create this platform wherein I'll share my learning from my life experiences, the lessons I learned from my life, because I have done a lot of mistakes. I have gone through mistakes, I have gone through a lot of setbacks, I have gone through a lot of successful moments, and each and every moment has a story. Each and every moment had given me a lot of powerful learnings. I don't want to leave those learnings. I came to this world without anything. I came to this world naked as a baby, and I will die without carrying anything. What I have got from this world. But whatever I have got, those important, valuable learnings that I have got, I want to make sure that before I die, I share with this world, so that I leave at least one or two people with some learnings. I'm able to maybe give a little bit of small element to their lives to live better, to achieve success by design. When my mission at the moment is to reach 1 million people, to touch 1 million lives, in terms of helping them to achieve success by design. So far, I have been able to touch already more than 2 lakh people so far. So 8 lakh more. Maybe in the next 2 years, I'll try to reach that. When I am able to reach so many people, probably all of them will not be transformed. All of them will not be able to get the kind of value that I want to give them. Getting something, or actually making use of what you get, is something else, right? So if I am in this effort, if I am able to help at least few people, or 100 people for that matter, to change their lives, or to give an element to change their lives, my job is done. Whatever I have done, I think I have got the return of that, the value of that. This is what I believe. I have worked with over 4,000 job career professionals, sharp people. I have worked with over 1 lakh entrepreneurs, starting from small entrepreneurs to big entrepreneurs. My dear friends, when I had been working with them to help them, I have got a lot of learnings from them, because many of them are much more successful people than me. Probably I was helping them when I had been mentoring them. I was helping them to improve on some part of some important niche of his life. But overall, if you look at as a life, probably when you look at their profession as an overall profession, probably they are much more successful people than me. That's why I learn from them. And ladies and gentlemen, why we learn from only successful people? We can learn from those small entrepreneurs also. You can learn from any kind of people. Any kind of people in this world will have, or they have, those kind of values that can help you, I would say, do better in their lives. You can learn from them as well. So having said that, I would like to request you that please share about this platform with your loved ones, with all the people whom you know, because let the benefit of this particular platform reach to every single people in this world. This is what I would like to say, because this is the call of my heart. This is the call of my soul. This is my purpose. And another request to all of you is that when lakhs of people are viewing my videos, my dear friends, this is very, very heart-touching for me. Only 2% of the viewers are following or subscribing my platforms, my YouTube channel, my Facebook. Again, ladies and gentlemen, my objective is not to increase the views or subscribers or followers. My objective is to make sure that you do not miss the next valuable topic that I'm going to talk about. I don't want you to miss the next successful people when they talk about the life-changing success formula. So please follow and subscribe, so that You get alert whenever I'm sharing a valuable video, live show, or any other reel which will carry some of the powerful ideas. I would like to promise you that I will not share anything which doesn't have any values. Any kind of things I share in my social media platforms, I would like to promise you that there will be some helpful message behind that particular sharing or post or reel, which can help somebody's life to do at least better on whatever they have been doing. This is my promise. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, let me come back to our today's topic. I was saying that I'll be sharing about 3-4 powerful stories, right? Let me start with one of the most powerful stories. The first story that I want to share is the recent one, wherein Sir Sudipto Chaudhary, Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary, had shared about his experience in Africa when he was leading as a MD of Airtel. So one incident wherein he changed or he impacted a lot of lives in Africa, for which he has got appreciation from the president of that particular country. He was talking about the incident wherein he was posted newly in Africa as a MD. I think few months gone there. There was this tragic life-taking epidemic called Ebola, which started spreading across the country, killing a lot of people. And if anybody is infected with this particular epidemic, he is about to die. I think majority of the people who had been impacted or affected by this particular disease could not save their lives or could not survive. And that was the situation. And since our head office of Bharti Airtel is in India, it is Indian originating company, a company originated from India. The leadership of the company advised Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary that all the people who had been posted out there, all the people of India being specific, who are posted in Africa can return home if you wish, if you feel that it is a threat to your life. It is your choice. Right? And at that moment, what he was saying is that, a lot of calls are coming, the leadership from India, his family. Try and just put yourself in that situation. If I'm in Africa, I'm working there, I had gone there newly, and there is this epidemic in this country, and a lot of people are dying every single day, and people do not have a proper medicine to this particular epidemic all at that time in that country. What will my wife, what will my parents, tell me? They will, of course, tell me that come back. Once the epidemic is over, you can go back. Isn't it? So anybody will experience this kind of advice from our loved ones. So he also naturally had this particular advice coming from his parents or his family, and even from the leadership of the country from India. And it was a moment wherein he had to take a decision. It was a moment wherein anybody would have gone through fearfulness, isn't it? Anybody would have gone through a condition of fearfulness, and immediately they would have thought that, I think 99.9% people would have thought that, I will go back, I'll save my life. When the question of saving my life comes, no compromise, isn't it? Anybody would have gone through this kind of a decision. But Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary, he is also a human being. He would have naturally gone through this kind of a feeling that I should immediately return home because I need to save my life. If I die, what will happen to my, I would say, family members, my loved ones? So That was the moment he had to take a decision. It is a moment wherein the behavior of fearfulness, the emotion of fearfulness, predominantly working in the mind, right? And then on the next day, what he did, he decided that he will stay back there. He will stand by his team and he will fight this epidemic for the sake of his team. He will fight for the people of that particular country. And that is exactly what he had done. And he was able to make sure that not a single team member of Airtel, forget about the team members, not a single family member of the team of Airtel in that country was infected by this particular epidemic, Ebola. And he went to the president of the country and he told that this is what I have done and this is the best formula to stay unaffected from this particular life-taking epidemic. And the same formula was applied, replicated across the country, and the country could turn around that situation. The country could make sure that that particular epidemic was handled, navigated through, and they went out from that particular phase. A lot of organizations like WHO or many other social organizations, right, and the government of Africa, they worked hand in hand on this idea of Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, he could get the appreciation of the president of the country. What are the learnings? Why I'm sharing this story? Let me come to the learnings. Because learnings are more important. Those learnings are going to make the difference in our lives, right? BookFlix Live is all about that. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not only seeing the learnings. In fact, I would say that I am seeing some jadoo ki jhadi in this particular story. I am seeing those brahmastras, at least 2 brahmastras I can see in this story. Can you, in your wildest imagination, also think that a fearful situation, a situation is fearful, as fearful as the situation wherein you are going to lose your life. That level of that degree of fearfulness can be transformed into fearless execution. Fearfulness transformed into unstoppable fearlessness, unstoppable action, and changing your own life. Look at this. Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary, had he gone back to India, he had every reason, all the support, all the justifications, all the valid logics and reasons to go back to India, because it was life-taking epidemic. Every single on this earth, every single citizen of this world has a right to protect ourselves, our lives, isn't it? Did he also? Sudipto Chaudhary also had that same right. He could have gone back. Had he gone back, ladies and gentlemen, he would not have got the recognition from the country of Africa, from the senior, I would say, from the leadership of the country. It is not only about the appreciation from the leadership of the country. The real, I would say, achievement is the kind of impact he was able to create to the humanity. Anybody can harm anybody's life if somebody wishes. But ladies and gentlemen, saving a life is priceless. And Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary could save lives of many thousands probably. Ladies and gentlemen, ये पुण्य का काम है. Is a real karma, I would say priceless karma that he has done, which he is going to get the benefit sometime from somewhere else in his life, in a positive way, much better way. The appreciation from the head of the country or from the leadership of the country is very small compared to the kind of service he has done to the humanity, isn't it? So, in his case, The situations, a fearful situation, and the degree of fearful was so high that it was life taking for him. Anytime he could have lost his life. From that level of fearfulness, the same situation, nothing has changed. Ebola was there, Africa was there, his job as a MD was there. Nothing has changed. And that fearfulness to that degree was always there. The same fearfulness was converted into fearless action the next day, and he impacted so many lives. Not only impacting, he saved so many lives, thousands of lives. Just think about it. He going back to India, returning home, staying safe, and staying there, saving so many lives. Just look at the kind of difference. Don't you call this as a turning point of life? Don't you call this as a life-changing, powerful experience or idea? So, how to change from a fearful situation to a fearless situation? Turn your fearfulness to fearlessness. This is Brahmastra. What is the Brahmastra? Mr. Sudipto talked about it. Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary mentioned about it. Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary said that his purpose was very clear. Ladies and gentlemen, there may be many other stories of purpose acting as a weapon in your life, but I think this is one of the most powerful example or real life story wherein the person who did this, who executed this particular action by himself was telling in this show. This is one of the finest examples available, I would say, across the world. When you talk about your purpose acting as the driving force in your life, wherein a fearful situation was magically converted into a fearless execution and impacted so many lives. Can we park for a moment, reflect upon your lives? Ladies and gentlemen, look at your lives wherein probably you had gone through some situations wherein your fearless feelings or fearless thought was overwhelming into your mind, and you were, in some cases, maybe you were able to take a decision to move forward and go ahead and take the action. Or in some cases, maybe you gave up. Maybe you can reflect upon if you have went ahead and took the action, what was the driving force behind it? Was there a purpose? The purpose may be your mother or your loved one, maybe your son or daughter, or your dream about achieving something, impacting lives, going somewhere. Reflect upon this. And let us start a habit. I would like you to just note on a notepad what are the 3 learnings from this particular story of Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary, wherein it transformed fearfulness into fearlessness and impacted so many lives. And look at your life. In the next 3 years, what are the situations wherein in your life you want to implement this, and how you want to implement this, and what is the purpose? 3 things on your personal life, 3 things on your professional life. Let us take 2 minutes on this. Thank you. So let's come to the next story. So the next story which I wanted to just pick up here is the way Mr. John McEnroe, who is an excellent tennis player of his time, and who was doing a lot of records, who was setting a lot of records, and who was the epitome of tennis game of that particular time. And one of the problem he had was the anger, the inability to control his emotions. When he was at the highest peak of his career, when people were coming to just watch him actually playing his tennis in such a beautiful manner and setting records and winning games, at that moment his emotion was on the other side, on exactly the opposite side. Whenever the empire was probably taking a slightly questionable decision, he was just shouting at the empire and he was not listening to the empire. How a player can do that? And on the other hand, if there is a bad comment from any audience or something, he was just throwing the racket. That was the level of anger he had. I mean, he was just beyond the level of being able to judge himself whether he was doing is right or wrong. So that was the kind of situation wherein he was demonstrating or he was playing from his negative emotions. Ladies and gentlemen, that has actually costed him a lot. That had costed him penalties. That had costed him, losing a lot of games, a lot of matches, and after that, slowly, it costed his career, I would say. And so, a person of that kind of emotional volatility could control himself, and he turned into a successful broadcaster, wherein he was very peaceful emotionally, and he completely transformed his life, isn't it? So again, if you look at your lives, if we look at our lives, there are many moments where we are not able to control our emotions. Most of the time we are angry, we are very, very upset, we are depressed, we pile on to others and start screaming at others. And one thing what we do not realize is that particular behavior causes a lot of damage. It may cause some damage, it may cause some damage to others, but the biggest of the damage that we are causing is to our own lives. Yes, anger is the kind of behavior it causes, which causes a lot of damage into our own lives. More than the kind of damage, we might think that for a moment I have shouted at that particular person, I'm dominating that person. Maybe it is giving some chemicals in our brain. It is helping for a moment maybe to feel great about it, to feel big about it. But believe you me, that is spoiling my own life more than the kind of damage I am doing to the other person. It's very important that we take control of our emotions, we stay calm and peaceful. Then you will say that, we all know it. What is new about it? The problem is we are not able to control our mind or control our emotions. How? The $1,000,000 question is how we control it. So here, Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary and Mr. Joaquin Birze, they had done a detailed research on this. After doing a long research, what they had found is that taking control of your anger, on one way, taking control of your anger is taking control of the damage that you will cause into your life. The damage on your own peacefulness, calmness, the damage on your joyfulness, the damage that you will do on your wealth, on your property, on your career, on your personal relationships. It will damage all of them in your life. So in other words, it is damaging your life. It is spoiling your life. Anger is equivalent to spoiling life. Whose life? My own life. So the biggest learning is that anger is equivalent to damaging my own life. As simple as that, bottom line. But how do you take control of this? The bigger question. How do you control of this is some research on which Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary and Mr. Joaquin Birze, they have gone through in detail. It comes down to 3 seconds of taking control of yourself. Counting 1, 2, 3. Take a pause. When you are really, really angry, take a pause. Take a long breath. Take a deep breath. Count 1, 2, 3. It's so simple. but doing this may be very difficult. So let's start practicing this from today, that whenever we go through any situation wherein we feel angry or we are emotionally out of control, let's take a pause. Let's take a long breath. Let's count 1, 2, 3. Maybe let's do this for 3 times in that situation. Somehow find a reason, find a bahana to just take a pause and count 1, 2, 3, take a deep breath. My dear friends, 99% of the cases you will be take control of your anger. It may be very, very simple, a very simple activity, very funny activity for that matter. But this simple, small activity can change your anger, your emotional outburst. And as I said, if you're able to take control of your anger, you're able to take control of your life. Don't you want to do that? Don't you want to regain that power of taking control of your life, taking charge of your life? Live your life by design, not by default, not by chance. Just think about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I will quickly touch upon another very powerful story. It is not actually a story. It is an example. It is actually not a story. It is an example that was cited by Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary and Mr. Joyking-Birze. And I will end with this particular story with the learning, with the takeaway. And I will also quickly share about a powerful story from my life out here. And that's how we will conclude today's episode. And in the next episode, what I will do is I'll share exactly the framework. I'll take a screenshot of the framework which has been presented by this book called Life Without If, and I'll actually discuss about a framework. Today I have shared about some of the powerful stories shared in that particular book, stories of Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary, stories of maybe some of the great people like John McEnroe, and with this story I'll conclude. Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary and Mr. Joyking-Birze continuously talks about one thing, cycling as an example. Cycling, in every concept that they have talked about it, the positive ifs and the negative ifs, they have talked about it. Cycling is an example they come back to again and again, and they refer some learnings or concepts out of it, big learning out of it. So the metaphor of cycling as an activity is something which has been made hero in that particular book, and it deserves that. They say that when you are just putting pressure on the pedal of the cycle, when you are just continuously moving, your cycle is in your control. Maybe the balance of the cycle is maintained and you are moving ahead in life or in your journey. The moment you stop putting pressure on the pedal, the moment you stop doing that, what happens? The cycle falls. Life is also lighter, is what he was saying. The moment you stop moving, you fall. You struggle or you fail in your life. In order to keep progressing in life, you need to keep moving. Whether it is a bad condition, bad environment, bad road or good road, you need to keep moving. So what he was referring to is that don't get impacted by the surroundings. Don't get impacted by the external conditions. External conditions will change. Sometimes it will be good, sometimes it will be bad. Sometimes the road will be good, sometimes the road will be bad. But once you have decided about your dream, your destination, where you want to reach, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. But your destination should be aligned with your destination, or your vision, your goals should be aligned with your gifted talent, the job that you do better, the work that gives you a lot of inner joy. That is the kind of I would say skill or a talent in which direction you should set your goal in your life. I hope today's session was valuable to all of you. Since it's almost 1 hour and 10 minutes, I think it's time for us to conclude this today's episode. I hope this was valuable to you. Please write back in terms of how did you feel. Please also give your valuable suggestions in terms of how we can do better, how this platform can be taken to next level in terms of making more impact to more people, to give more valuable values to the audience, because my intent and my purpose is very clear. I want to help people by creating this platform as a mentor or as a guidance, as a guiding platform for anybody and everybody who aspire to succeed in their lives by design. Anybody who would like to achieve success by design, I think the formula or the framework for success should be available in this platform. The best possible proven framework and formula should be available in this platform. How do I make this happen? Is that learning from my experience, from my research, learning from the great people, successful people whom I know, bringing them speak about their success stories and success mantras. Or if they are not able to come here, I take this story from them and I share over here. Taking learnings from all the people who have been able to make some extraordinary work or achieve some extraordinary success in their lives in this world. Bringing all those learnings and making available over here. And I go through some activity wherein I sum up all of them, connect all the dots, and present this in a very, very simple and practical framework or practical manner, so that our youngsters and all the people watching this particular platform can take the practical, implementable, real life lessons and learnings, proven lessons and learnings, and make use of that. And they achieve success by design. Thank you very much for your love and support. For today, we will conclude this session over here. I'd like to thank you very much for watching this. I'd like to thank you to all the people who are watching this live and to all the people who are going to watch live. Please share about this information with your loved ones so that more and more number of people can take benefit from this particular platform. Because I believe that every single aspiring people in this world have the right to get guidance, to get the best guidance in their lives. Even if I did not get that in my life, I want to help people so that they do not go through the same pain that I had gone through in my life. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.